So before I start this arduously long video, I will point out that we are in the business of selling and programming police scanners. And in lieu of watching this video for the next half hour, whether you speed it up or you skip around, we can alleviate that time crunch by programming for you. And if you already do have a scanner, we do offer programming services for both SD scanners and non-SD scanners. You can avoid all that by just calling us at 737-777-9876. And action.
Hi everyone, I'm Garrett from Zip Scanners, where we make scanning easy. Today I'm going to walk you through the Sentinel software program for Uniden scanners. Here are a few frequently asked questions. What is the software for? So this software is used to program the SDS-100, the SDS-200, the BCD-436HP, and the BCD-536HP. So this software covers a good chunk of the programming that we do. This program is nearly identical to the software for the HomePatrol 1 and 2, so you can use this video as a reference for those two scanners as well. I'll compare the two programs and show you that they're pretty much identical with a different color scheme, basically. In that case, we're knocking out the programming for 6 different scanners in one video, so strap in. Second, can I program manually? I have a separate video for direct entry programming that I'll link in the description. The answer is yes, you can program manually, but this is the exact opposite of programming manually. So this is for PC computers only. It is only PC compatible. No scanner software is Mac compatible, but there are ways to use a Windows operating system on a Mac through a program called Boot Camp. I won't show you how to do that in this video, but I have linked a video in the description for reference. The third question is, can I program on my own? So I'm going to give you a comprehensive overview of everything that makes this scanner software tick, and by the end of it, you should be able to program on your own. Keep on the lookout for similar videos on the Whistler EasyScan software and the Unication PPS software, which covers all of the programming that we do for digital scanners. There's practically a different software program for all analog scanners, but they're all pretty self-explanatory. All ARC software programs are one radio reference import away from fully programmed. I'll show you how to download the Sentinel software, which is free of charge, show you how to connect the scanner or the SD card of your scanner to your PC, and finally, do a screencast while I program an SD card for the SDS-100. I'll show you the basic functions of the software, how to append a favorites list, how to delete and avoid frequencies you do not want to monitor, and finally how to push the programming to the SD card.
Okay, so I have deleted my Sentinel software program in order to show you step by step how to download it. So on your PC, make sure you know you have a PC, a personal computer that runs a Windows operating system. If you've realized you've gone too far with your Mac, Apple, Tim Apple, whatever you want to call it, stop here. It's for PCs only. Have I made myself clear? Okay. So, the link will be in the description, or as young adult writer and vlogger John Green calls it, the doobly-doo. Love that. It will also be in the corner of the screen in a pop-up that says Sentinel software download. So, right here, you will see the latest version is the version available for download. It gives you the history of all of these software versions. So, it starts from the very beginning. I don't know what minor tweaks entails, but great description. Honestly, love it. Really means a lot to me. So, you can read through that if you want to. It's tech talk, whatever. But I will click on the download and wait for it. I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so the download is ready and it's opening. So you'll click on this and you can ignore everything up until setup BCDX36HP. The Windows installer package. Windows installer package. If you're not getting this option, you're using a Mac. Moving on. Okay, so it still detects that I still have it, so I will remove it. All right, the installation is complete. It is successfully removed, and I'll close it. So I'll click it again, and I will install it from scratch. There we go. Next. I do agree. If you want to read all this, be my guest. What does it say about Tarrant County? That's interesting. Well, maybe do read this if you're from Tarrant County. I won't read it. But if you're someone who reads licensing agreements, 1, I don't trust you. 2, good for you. I'm never going to do it. I agree. You wrote something and I agree. All right, and I'll just hit next again. Again. Sentinel is being... Oh. Installation complete. Yes. So I will exit out of all of this. And look, it's right here. My brand new BCD X36 HP Sentinel software. Open that up. So it still has all of the programming that I will do. So you get a peek into the future. There it is. Hennepin County, Denton County, Blue Angels. What am I going to program in the next video? The world may never know. See you then. Okay, so now that we have downloaded the Uniden Sentinel software, I'm ready to give a comprehensive overview of the software. So right here, right off the bat, you have the full database for the US and Canada. So the states will pop up in the right-hand column as well as the provinces. You can maximize these tabs. See, you go into states in alphabetical order. You also get some territories like Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. But this is what it looks like when you open it. You get all of the counties. So if I just open up Bibb County, Alabama, you get nationwide, statewide, and county systems. You're mostly going to live here in county systems. Right here are all of the conventional analog frequencies. So you just get amateur radio repeaters and a little bit of EMA, fire, sheriff, EMS, dispatch. That's all that's available in that county. And you go into statewide, and this is where the trunked systems will be. Unless they are directly linked to that county, then they will be in county systems. But I'll open up Alabama First Responder Network. And most of the counties in Alabama run off of this. No, I shouldn't say most. The ones that are more densely populated will be in here. And you get some other agencies like railroad, utilities, medevac. Yeah, you'll always have air traffic control up here and statewide for pretty much every state. I'll just go here and see. That's the truth. There it is. But it's mostly the same structure with every single state and county. Nationwide, you'll get a bunch of common bands. Most of these all stay the same. Actually, they do stay the same. They're all nationwide frequencies everywhere. So, that's a little bit from there, but we'll come back to that. First, we will go to File. So this is where you would import your HPE file. Say if we sent you your programming in HPE files, you could import from there, and you open that. I just hit Tab and Enter to make a new favorites list, and just type it in. I'll write Hennepin County, and then I can go in here. Really doesn't matter. I'll just open up Minnesota. So that'll pop up under Hennepin County. Right there you get Skywarn, some statewide, and the entire trunk system. That's at least what our file was. But that's how you import a frequency. You use the delete button, or you can right click and hit remove from favorites list, press OK, or hit enter. And this is how you export the file. Say your friend wanted the same exact programming that you've done, you can export those files and send it directly to them via email. This is pretty self-explanatory. Save, open a file, new configuration. You can kind of ignore that. Right here is edit profile, edit favorites list, edit display. Some of this stuff will be these icons here. But first, I will go and add something random. And I will append it to the favorites list by right-clicking. Just hit enter. And I will close this accordion. I'll keep that open. And this is how to edit profile. You can do it here or in the edit tab. So Fairfield monitoring is currently off. So when you do program the favorites list, you will need to turn monitor on. So you'll just click that item and then monitor on. Simple. And right here, while I'm in this window, I might as well show you. So these are the service types. You're going to want to have most of these checked off. If you do know the service types, they will be over here. I'll show you that after I close out of this window. But basically, this is already a custom service type layout. So you're probably going to want law attack, law talk, maybe even these two. Not many talk groups are on multi-tack or multi-talk, but can't hurt. Get all the EMS and railroad. But whatever service types that you need should be checked off. You can also do that on the scanner itself, but within the software, it's a little bit easier. And when you do it on the device itself, there will be two lines if they're not already checked off. So you might as well check everything and then check off things that you don't need on the scanner. These are the location settings. You can do your zip code from here. You can put in your exact latitude and longitude and the range. I wouldn't recommend anything over 30, honestly. You can go 30 to 50, but I don't think 50 is very reliable most of the time. And this you can kind of ignore. It's not really anything too important. The attenuator is more for signal. Anything else, ignore it. This is the delay. I suppose you could change that too, but 2 seconds is the default. Broadcast screen, ignore it. Custom search, ignore it. You can also ignore this too, but this is close call. And close call, the way it works on the SDS-100 is if you turn close call on, you're receiving only the transmissions that are within the closest tower to you. Basically, I mean, there may be more towers surrounding you where you'll get more transmissions bouncing off of those towers, but for the most part, it's the tower closest to you. So we'll keep that off. And this you can also ignore. Miscellaneous, this is just some of the other stuff from the other tabs. These are tones. For the most part, beginner, you don't really need that. Let's see. Quick keys. So there's a way to do this on the scanner, but you can also do it from the software. So if you want to listen to a specific frequency and you don't want to scan through everything, you can create a quick key and then directly enter it onto the keypad, and it will pop up as the transmission that you want to listen to. Sometimes they don't come through. That's just kind of how scanning works. But that's a little bit of an overview in this window under the Edit Profile icon. In the View tab, this is more for Motorola systems or trunking systems, the decimal and hexadecimal. It's just a different format. It's not the conventional analog frequencies. And this is also a different format. This is on only EDAX systems. Only a handful of you have EDAX systems. They're all kind of switching over to phase 2. Some of the talk groups run on that mode of transmission, but we'll let you know if that's the case. This scanner tab, this is where you actually write the programming to the scanner or read it from the scanner in order to look through, add some things, whatever it may be. I'll go back to that when I program the SD card. This is where you do the update. You're going to want to update the master database before you program anything to make sure you have the latest version of the software. And that's pretty quick. I can do that right now. Just checking. It's the current version. Of course, I wouldn't do the video without the current version. And this is where you update the firmware of the scanner itself. And I'll show you that when I program. This is where you enter the target model. So we're going to do the SDS 100. But if you have a BCD 436 or a BCD 536, you're going to want to click that. And it'll load. It'll flicker a little bit, but it doesn't mean anything. Same deal with the SDS 200. We'll go back. And this is just where you see which version of the software you have, latest version. So basically everything within these drop-down menus are also located in these icons. Just some quick keys here. This is where you can edit the display. I haven't shown you that yet. Let's do that. Why not? Pretty colors, right? So this is your layout of an SDS 100 or 200. This doesn't apply to the 436 or 536, but this is where you can do that directly on the software instead of on the scanner. It's a little bit more difficult to navigate, just moving the knob and finding a color. This you can just click. System name, text color, background color. Looks terrible, but I don't care. Anyway, that's where you do that. You can change the color of anything in the display. You just click on it. And I'll exit out of that. You get the gist. Okay. And if you are using an SD card that is not directly from the scanner or Uniden, and it's just like a SanDisk or any other brand of micro SD, you'll need to clear the data before you actually push the programming to the SD card. So I don't have an SD card in front of me right now, but display all drives is what you'll hit, and that'll show up nameless. You press OK, and it will clear all the data. And then you can write the programming to the scanner. All right, I have an SD card ready, and I will just program something really quickly for you and try to slow it down a little bit more to show you exactly how you do it. So first, as I mentioned, I'm not using a Uniden SD card, so I have to clear the user data, display all drives. It'll say E unknown. So I press OK, and OK again, and OK again. And it finished clearing user data, so the software can read the SD card. So I will come in and program something from my area. So I'll go Minnesota and scroll down to Hennepin, and I'll go County Systems. So right here are all the conventional channels. And right here are all of the trunked channels. This is a phase 1 system. The entire state of Minnesota is on the Allied Radio Matrix for Emergency Response, or ARMOR. And I'd say about 40 states are on their own comprehensive trunking system. There are some states like California, Massachusetts, Michigan, at least partially in Michigan, that are still on conventional analog, but all communication will eventually migrate over to a phase 1 or phase 2 Project 25 system. So I will show you what's within this Allied ARMOR system. So the entire state of Minnesota is on this, and smaller counties will just have one. So you'll see these are all the talk groups available. This is a bigger suburban county, so there are more talk groups. But here in Hennepin, the largest county in Minnesota, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different groups that we can choose from. So this is just general Hennepin County, everything. This is Bloomington. You get the point. Municipalities dispatched by county. These are just smaller suburbs. So I'll just go right to Hennepin County. I will right click and left click on Append to Favorites list. Again, I'll hit Tab, Enter, Hennepin County, press OK or Enter. Now I will minimize this accordion. So right here is the favorites list. It'll show me Hennepin County, and when I maximize it, it'll give me everything. So I go into the Allied Radio Matrix ARMOR system, and I see Hennepin County at the top. So these are all the sites. This is the entire state of Minnesota in terms of sites or towers. And I will get rid of all of these sites except for 2, which is Hennepin County East Simulcast and Hennepin County West Simulcast. There are others within it, but I'll ignore that. So I'll hit Control, Shift, and I'll scroll down all the way to Hennepin County East. And that selects everything, and I'll right click, remove from favorites list, and hit OK. And then it will bounce back, and that'll be at the top. And then I'll get rid of everything else. You won't be able to scroll in your mouse, so you'll have to grab the bar and drag it down. And I will remove everything else from the favorites list and hit Enter. So that's everything that I want to program. Within this, you can also avoid, business is spelled wrong, that's great. So you can either set avoid, and that'll turn red, and you'll see a void in this column. Or I can just outright remove it, press OK. So let's say all I want is fire tac and sheriff. So I'll do the same thing, Control Shift, bring it all the way down to fire tac, remove from favorites list, press OK. And then I will drag it all the way down to sheriff, remove from favorites list, press OK. Same thing, like riding a bike, bring it down, remove. Okay. So that's everything I want to program for Hennepin County. So I will push the programming to the scanner. You can do it under the scanner dropdown, right to scanner, or you can do it from the icon with the down arrow that says right to scanner. You can hover over to make sure you're doing the right one. This is when your scanner is connected and you want to read the programming to the software, and this is when you want to read the programming from the software. So I'm writing this to the SD card. It'll say Uniden unknown if you're using an SD card that is not from Uniden. You'll get the actual ESN if you are using the SD card from the scanner, which in most cases you will be. And I will check erase favorites list on scanner and force write full database. You press OK twice and it starts writing to the scanner. Oh, guess what? I forgot something. What did I do wrong? I go to edit profile. I still have it as monitor off. So I turn it on, click out of that, and I'll do it again. Because we make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So press OK. Alright, so it says finished writing to scanner, so I'll press OK. And I will update the firmware. So I'll do the same thing. And again, on an SD card that is not from the scanner itself, it'll ask you to select the scanner model. I'm already on SDS 100, so I'll click OK. But obviously, if you're using any of these three, click those. That's all I really need to show you on the software. It's pretty self-explanatory to that point. You can play around with it. You can do 100 different things within the database. But really, I just showed you how to narrow down your favorites list within a trunked system. I can show you quickly how to get those conventional frequencies, specifically for Hennepin County. But within any county with conventional analog frequencies, it will just say the county name without county on the end. I can append that to the favorites list. In some cases, let's see if I can find one. So it's not going to be within Minnesota because their trunked frequencies are all on one system. But if I grab something from, say, let's see, let me think. Oh, well, I know for sure Texas. So if I go to Denton, I go to county systems, I'll get Denton, and then Denton County and Denton City. These are P25 systems. So this is going to be the trunking for Denton, and it's that way for pretty much any county system that runs on a P25 system. So, like I said, conventional, just the county name. Trunked, the name of the county and the word county. Simple enough. But I'll grab that. And this is all of the trunked frequencies in Denton County, not including Denton City, I guess. And I can do the same thing. I don't want flower mound. You just grab one and remove it from the favorites list. There. I don't want schools. Remove it from the favorites list. So you can peck and grab every talk group that you don't want to listen to. That'll open it up a little more. See, so I go into Denton County, I see all of these groups, but County Fire, there's much more. So you can keep opening these folders and see exactly what you're getting. I could go over 100 other examples, but this is the most basic overview of how to program your county onto a favorites list. That's just the way we set it up. You can do it any way you want. So if you just wanted to do an agency, go to Florida. We'll go to the first one, nationwide, and you want all air shows. So you get those Blue Angels right here. I'll just grab it. All right, Blue Angels. And I'll minimize everything else. I'll grab Blue Angels. I'll go to air shows. And I'll get rid of everything else. I'm going to an air show. I get rid of everything else. And I just have those two. Ground and aerial. So you do that for virtually any agency. But yeah, that is my comprehensive overview of the Sentinel software. So I said I would show you the HomePatrol version of the Sentinel software. They're virtually the same. The shield is just orange, and this is for HomePatrol scanners only. The HomePatrol 1 and the HomePatrol 2. Okay, that's basically it. The only real difference is the edit profile window that I showed you. It just goes straight to location settings. So when you do need to turn the monitor on, you have to switch over to favorites list, monitor on, same as in Sentinel. It's the same. Period. Again, keep on the lookout for similar videos for the Whistler Easy Scan software and the Unication PPS software or pre-programming software. And until then, I'm Garrett from Zip Scanners, where we make scanning easy. We're open 7 days a week. You can call us at 737-777-9876, where we offer free shipping, no taxes, and lifetime technical support from experts like me. Thanks.